Fujifilm's cameras has always been designed based on film cameras. And actually the X-Half is no surprise. Today I'm going to meet Jasmine from CLOOP and also meet our model Casey to do a photo shoot with thrifted fashion. I'm going to use the X-Half's film simulations and filters as well as the built-in flash to do the fashion shoot. My favorite filter for the X-Half is the light leak. You can't preview where the light will leak. You can only see it afterwards and it's completely random. The half frame was used as a method to save film in that they only exposed half the frame so that instead of 36 pictures, they could take 72 instead.
Majority of the pieces that I have in my closet are like mostly curated pieces that I buy from online secondhand store like Carousel, like, you know, those kind of websites, and as well as like going to thrift shops in Singapore.
We have this, and I think it will go very well with this.
I think so too. It's like brand, almost brand new.
Right, it's crazy how people just throw.
The design of the X-Half naturally dictates the way I use the camera. So I'm on aperture priority due to the aperture dial over here. And then I'll use exposure compensation to fine-tune my exposure for the shot. One of the tips for using the X-Half is to turn on the AF illuminator. That sets a light on the subject to ensure your focus is sharp. I also have the face detection turned on.
Yeah.
Okay, Jazz, can you tell me in a nutshell what CLOOP is all about?
So CLOOP is actually a short for Close the Loop for Fashion for Good.
Okay.
And how we do it is through a 4C cycle: collect, curate, circulate to the community. So that's the 4C. And we have like sustainable shopping alternatives like Fashion Swap, Open Wardrobe, which is a thrift store pop-up, Bag It, and curated bag orders. So these are the creative ideas that we have to make thrifting more fun and exciting.
And so looking at the amount of clothes here, have you actually collected more than you can manage?
More than we can manage. Yeah, actually what you see here, right, is only from 2 donation points in Singapore, in City Sprout Henderson and also APSN Centre for Adults. And it's more than enough for us to do like 100 pop-ups in Singapore.
Well, I feel like the X-Half is a very, has an emotional aspect to it. So traditionally, you need to understand the settings of photography such as aperture, shutter speed and ISO, but at the same time you don't use it like a technical camera, so it's not a one-to-one translation in terms of photography style, but the X-Half is very fluid. You need to go in with a bit of fun, a bit of a surprise, and you go in shooting knowing that you are enjoying the camera. Some people think that because it is a small and tiny compact camera, it is for beginners. But if you didn't know about photography, and if you were to only use it as a point and shoot, you may get frustrated with the results. It may not be as intended as you would envision it to be. Rather, if you know photography and you would be adjusting the exposure dials and knowing how to set the Fujifilm menu settings, you have a lot more control over the camera. So don't be fooled by the size of the camera. It being small doesn't mean that it doesn't have the functions that you can customize and maneuver to take the photos that you want. Well, to borrow a quote, the world just does not fit conveniently into the format of a 35mm camera. That's Eugene W. Smith. And I think Fujifilm has really embraced that concept. First by deciding not to produce full-frame cameras but going APS-C instead. And now it's taken itself one step further by saying that it can produce a camera that is 9:16 format. Although Fujifilm used to be a camera company, it's no longer that today because it's branched out into the medical device business. It even has its own cosmetics line. The success of that is actually sustaining the camera business. I think in wanting to keep producing cameras, it's really keeping the photography culture alive. That's why it can afford to have fun and be experimental and take some risk in the development of their cameras. I feel like I found the right model.
Loading.
Yeah? Okay, we say hi first, huh?